Hello, I'm Tag,
And this is Bob.
and you're listening to Bob and Tag Talk. Before we start the show, I'd like to point out that the topics discussed on Bob and Tag Talk are Bob and Tag's personal opinions and comments. We don't intend to cause harm or offense, we are simply providing our personal commentary on subjects that we find interesting. So, today we're going to talk about content exclusively. Why content is king today, why it matters to have good content, and we're going to talk a little bit about the content that we ourselves consume on a daily basis, be it on YouTube, the short form ones, the longer form ones on podcasts, or just the reels or the TikToks that we see see and enjoy. So this is all the digital content that we're going to see today. Obviously, there's been a huge rise in digital media with the rise of the internet itself. I think when the internet, started evolving, the first things that we saw, videos were some things that we saw, but
Even
initially,
before videos, right? You remember chat?
yeah,
Rooms?
chat was you
So
can't really
basically-
call it content though.
No, the thing is, before we have emojis and emoticons, we used to make emojis with parentheses and all the
Right.
characters in the keyboard
Right.
and things like that.
Yeah.
That was the first thing of expressing with some extra characters or something.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
slowly it evolved into proper emojis, and then we had icons, emojis for every expression.
Yeah, that was like a huge thing. Even now, there are certain emoticons that I don't really know how to use, like
Don't even
with the
know what
characters.
it means.
Exactly. That is also there. So content, I think, first started with written content. That is the easiest form of content that was first available and all of that. So it started with blogs. I think it started with some
blogs were really, really
newsletters.
popular.
Yeah, when emails were really popular, newsletters were very, very common.
I don't know. I never used to read newsletters.
I guess it was just like ads that you get for like some sort of products or something.
Spam. Later
Yes,
called spam.
Exactly. It's just spam. So then when YouTube came into the picture, there was like this huge like boom of like the video content.
Yeah.
Um,
That was music first, obviously.
Obviously, yeah, I forgot about
iPod
that.
and music, then YouTube.
So,
Pictures?
Pictures. I think they were
Facebook
included
pictures.
into the
Personal pictures.
I think they were first included into the blogs, the written content, and then it slowly transformed to the videos, and Facebook also came in. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, nowadays there's a huge amount of content that is required and asked for in the world of news, information, entertainment, whatever it is. People consume content so much that it's like we need people who are specifically trained for these sort of like jobs, like content creators, content marketers, and everything.
And the format of the content, that is video, has changed everything. I think initially, like people who are really good at writing used to write blogs.
Right. Yeah.
Then, like I think we used to discuss in the podcast before, there was a very popular book called Martian, which was actually published as a blog, then later into a book. And then there was audiobooks.
Yeah.
Then when the video came up, then anyone could make a video. They just had access to a computer or a phone.
Exactly.
YouTube.
I remember the early days of YouTube were very weird. There used to be just like the people used to do things just to get like attention. People do that now also. I'm not saying they don't, but it's like it started off that way where people would do outrageous things to get the
Like
most
stunts.
views. Yeah, stunts or just crazy stuff, just stupid or crazy things like some weird dance or some.
I think I completely missed that.
Right. Yeah. That is that.
I think that is what I know TikTok is for.
Yes, that is the new age of TikTok is basically that.
Because I think when YouTube was first there, most probably because I was not exposed so much because of the data consumption. I think we did not even have 3G when YouTube was introduced, at least in India.
That is it,
so I don't think we used to watch a lot of YouTube videos.
That is it, yeah. I think we started watching YouTube only, I don't know, when
I can't remember.
Yeah, even I can't remember. I can't even remember the first video I've ever watched.
I think sure we can Google it and go to search history.
Probably something like that we could probably do. So yeah, content. There's short form, there's long form, there's reels, there's whatever else it is. So what sort of content do you consume on YouTube?
Primarily, My preference is mainly for sports reviews or like summary highlights of the games or some kind of analysis. So initially, I remember we used to watch TV. So before a match get started, we used to see the analysis. In halftime, we see the analysis. End of the game, we see the analysis. Now everything is on YouTube. Right. So you could do it late at night. You could do it tomorrow. You could do it on the weekend.
Yeah, and there's also that live thing, right?
Yeah, and initially we always used to rely on professional presenters and analysts to do the sports analysis. Now anyone can do it. So,
yeah. And do it really well also.
Really well. A lot of people who just post their analysis of a game or analysis of a sport on particular YouTube channel, and there are a lot of views for it. And I remember there was in 2014 World Cup, I think. Yeah, I think it's 2014 World Cup. So there used to be a couple of community contributors for sports. They're not even professional. They are like amateur sports presenters. They used to have a really popular, football sports commentary channel. It used to get really popular. Okay. That was really more popular than the actual football games. And after the football games, in the actual ESPN commentaries, people used to go there, and eventually that became a separate channel, and they became really good presenters and so on.
Oh, that's nice.
There's a lot of stories like that.
What else do you watch apart from the sports ones?
Then mostly finance. Now that's the whole trend now.
Right.
So I watch a lot of crypto related podcasts or videos, and then some many business news stories, finance news stories, and some anything like really economy related or finance related.
So what channels do you subscribe to on YouTube?
There's something which I really like is something called as Compound Show. A lot of other podcasts like Invest Like the Best.
So this Compound Show, that is also all about finance and investing.
Yeah, they're all professional portfolio managers and portfolio advisors. So they actually have a show where they talk about investing and helping common people how to invest and so on. Okay. That's how it got started. Now it's really popular. They have more than 100,000 subscribers.
Nice. And then you mentioned one other thing.
Invest Like the Best. Okay. Invest Like the Best is actually a really, really professional. And so I think it's called Patrick O'Shaughnessy is the host. Okay. He really invites CEOs and other business people and then investors, really popular investors, to their show. It's like more like an interview.
Right. And so you watch a lot of other like investing sort of.
Yeah, there's a couple more like in Indian one. There's really popular called 1% Show.
Okay.
So Vishal Khandelwal.
1%.
1% Show.
Okay. Okay.
And Vishal Khandelwal, he was also like basically an interview. He actually interviews all these billionaires or some kind of really millionaire investors and who are really portfolio managers and so on. And then there's something called We Study Billionaires. Okay. It's a really popular podcast. They do a daily podcast actually.
Oh, okay.
And they are more than like 300 to 500. And then different series. Even book authors generally come there. Like journalists come there. And then they also talk about all this investing in business and so on. Those are the popular ones.
So how do you listen to, as in do you listen to podcasts or do you prefer watching them?
I think I really do prefer watching, at least on YouTube. It's really nice at least to see the interviewer and at least, like for example, the Compound Show shows a lot of charts.
Yeah.
So you need to really see the chart and see, okay, this is the chart they're talking about.
Yeah.
Without that chart, you will not get a lot of context.
Maybe. Honestly, we were trying to do that on Bob and Tag Talk as well. Yeah. It's just that
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, exactly. So for now, the video is just going to be the audio with just a picture. Maybe like if we like get a lot more views or if we just get a lot more subscribers, we'll probably like think of doing an actual video with a lot of graphs and all of that.
It is really necessary.
Exactly. So yes, we've moved on to podcasts. What other podcasts do you listen to?
More than podcasts, is like a video cast. So so it's like something related to books. So there's a YouTuber called Swedish Investor. Actually, all these investing books, he condenses it as 5 little slides, and with animation, he really explains that particular book, the gist of the book.
Oh, that's
so that
nice.
Is really nice.
That's nice. Yeah, it's like if you don't want to buy the book or if you just want to listen to the condensed version, that's really good. And so okay, So some of the things that I listen to, well, me, I watch YouTube, I listen to podcasts for entertainment. I don't really, I do listen to podcasts to learn something that is there. Some of my YouTube subscriptions are things like the behavior panel where, I learn about body language and human behavior. So I watch a lot of videos.
Forensic
Yeah, so
analysis and so on.
exactly. Basically, analysis of interviews or any police,
So
whatever it
any
is.
serial killer analysis and so
Oh
on.
yeah, there's serial killer analysis, and there's basically just analysis of people who have made some controversies, or just analyzing their behavior. So apart from behavior sort of stuff, I also listen. I also watch a lot of. Let's say I watch a lot of jolly things. So there's this channel called Jolly. So they're just two guys trying like weird foods or whatever it is. They're trying weird things, and it's just fun to watch. And I also watch a lot of like commentary and reactions on gameplays.
Yeah,
So
streamers.
streamers. So if they're playing any new game which I'm like really interested in and I want to see their walkthrough or the gameplay through, I just usually like go to one of their the things channels and I just like take a look at that. So those are some of the YouTube things that I watch.
Would the Game of Thrones be the first YouTube things that we used to watch?
That is the one thing that I can remember from a long time, because when Game of Thrones was really, really popular, there were a lot of channels that were doing a lot of different reviews on how Game of Thrones could progress, and not just Game of Thrones, the books also. People,
The
there were people
characters.
exactly. There were people who would discuss about that. So I remember you introducing me to some of those channels. There was something called GOT Academy.
Yeah,
That
Lorist was one popular
yeah,
YouTuber.
there was also one more. I can't really remember the name. So basically, we would watch all of these reviews and we'd gain a lot of insight.
About the story and characters.
The story and characters, also the history behind the
The War of Roses, basically.
yeah, exactly what it was based on, a little bit of introduction about that. So I found those sort of history related connections to the book really, really interesting. So those book reviews were something that I remember. I think those were some of the first things that we used to watch. I'm not sure, but the Game of Thrones was really popular back in the day. Um, Apart from that, podcasts. So podcasts is some of the stuff I listen to is Joe Rogan Experience. It's probably one of the
Long
biggest.
form experience, right?
Yes,
I think he does a 2 hour interview.
Max.
Longer.
It's gone to three and a half
3 hours.
hours and all. It's just you just you just do your skincare routine and you just like sit and watch the podcast. That's what I do.
And
So
the host that he hosts a lot of different kind of people as well.
exactly. So he brings people from a lot of different spheres, which is why I think it's. I think his
Political,
podcast is
controversial as well.
exactly political. He brings comedians, a lot of comedians, because he has a comedian-ish background. So he brings a lot of comedians. He brings doctors. So yeah, authors, everybody. Whatever is his fancy, he sort of like brings people.
Really, have you really gone through a 3 hour full podcast, or what do you do? How do you listen to it?
So it's like I have gone through like a 3 hour full podcast if the guest is really interesting. So some of the guests I find really interesting are either like really good comedians who can like really make me laugh all through the podcast. So listening to that sort of a podcast is like a breeze. You can listen to 3 hours, just you just go through your life and you just listen to it. It's like I'll be doing some chores, I'll be doing a little bit of work, I'll be eating,
okay,
I'll be
so
listening.
it's just going on in the background for long time.
Exactly. And it's like I Spotify, you can watch it on Spotify. So sometimes if they have like a graphic that they want to show, I'll just like avert my eyes from the screen of whatever I'm doing to see the mobile, to see whatever they're showing, and and I revert back to listening to it again.
Okay.
So that is Joe Rogan Experience is
I do remember one episode of his. I think he does a lot of motivational segments.
Sort of.
I have seen a few videos of his on that.
Right. So yeah, those are clips of the actual like.
Like he talks about his experience, how he started as a stand-up comedian, how he struggled, and all the problems that he had with money, and then how he eventually learned how to manage money and so on. Those things I have watched.
Yeah, and the one thing I like about the Joe Rogan Experience is it's a little bit about Joe Rogan. I'm not saying it's not, but it's more about the guests and what value they bring to the conversation. So you really even if you don't know a particular guest, and if you just want to tune into a podcast, you might find something that you really can learn. So that is something that I watch. And then the other ones I just watch are fun ones. So there's something called the Double Cleanse podcast I listen to. Which is basically skincare, rumors in the skincare industry, what's new coming up, those sort of things. And I also listen to pure comedy
Stand-up
shows.
comedies.
Not stand-up comedy. It's like if person like Bill Burr. Basically, Bill Burr has a podcast, so it's Bill Burr just ranting about stuff on the microphone. There's just another podcast from a comedian called Tim Dillon that I listen to. It's called the Tim Dillon Show. It's basically him ranting, and I'm just listening to his ranting. So it's those sort of shows that I listen to.
I remember there's some kind of videos like they review all these action scenes in old movies. And basically like they bring actual people who know, like a person who knows kung fu. They should rate all these fighting scenes in the movie. They rate from 0 to 10. Like what is the thing that they give?
I think the channel you're referring to, it's a YouTube channel called Wired.
Yes, Wired, yeah.
So they bring different
a lot
people.
of things like Wired autocomplete and a lot of things like that.
Those are really, really fun. I think that sort of content is king, it's like whoever came up with an idea is a genius, because it's very interactive, it's very entertaining also.
A little unpredictable. You never know what you're going to get.
Exactly. So yeah, I think the way content has evolved into structured, very
finesse.
Not even finesse. The word I'm trying to use is, it's like what is going to happen next, like in a news anchor's like story. What is going to happen next, and everything is written down, and everything is edited, and somebody checks it.
Like sections.
Yeah.
Like you have the first news will be like this. You have the local news.
Yeah.
And then you have the business news, and then probably something related like wacky news, and then eventually it will end with sports.
And even those sort of that individual news segments are edited so much that there's no room for like improvisation. True. Exactly. So yeah, with the content of today, there's a lot more improvisation, and it's like even if there's it's more real. It's like even if you make let's say wacky things backing things in your video are more preferred right now. Yeah. So I find I generally like how the content is moving today. Basically,
and then all these people who create the content, the first who arrives in a particular platform is always has a really great following, and then they really make it. They churn a lot of money.
Exactly.
They get through ads. Yeah. They get sometimes they have sponsors.
Yeah.
But there's a negative side to it as well. Like some companies will push through some products through them.
Absolutely.
Like that. That's the negative side of it.
Absolutely. I've seen advertisements in YouTube videos are a thing nowadays. Not advertisements as in the ads that you see, the
product
skippable
placement.
Ads. I'm talking about the creators themselves putting ads.
Basically influencing something.
Exactly, promoting a product. That is there. I don't think you can escape that.
This is very dangerous when it comes to finance. So there is, even I think a couple of days ago, there was actually some kind of scam. Like there was a particular engineering company or telecom adjacent company.
Okay.
So they spread news that this company is going to build 5G towers for all telecom things, and then the stock is going to go like 3 times or 4 times in a month or something like that. The surprising part of it is, generally what happens is they go to these people in Twitter who have a lot of followers.
Right.
So they say we'll pay you, then it's up to you to influence or promote this particular stock that is going to increase.
Okay.
It may be a false narrative or there may be something real behind it, we'll never know.
Exactly. Okay.
They just promote things like that.
Yeah.
And the sad part of it is, this particular promotion even made it to a very popular
person?
Not a person, a newspaper, a financial newspaper. So I don't want to name names, but but that particular publication put it on their website as well.
Right.
A lot of people were surprised.
Okay.
And then one person said that, who has a lot of Twitter followers, he said that he was approached and they said they want to promote this particular company, and then they wanted to make sure people buy it and then increase the share price. But this is what it's called a pump and dump scheme.
Okay.
They'll popularize it, people will start buying it, and then eventually they dump all the shares and they'll close the company.
Oh my god, that is horrible.
And the most surprising thing was, there's a really popular financial news publication, internet publication, that also did the same thing.
Right.
So that was concerning.
Yeah, it's like what you just talked about. It just brings to light how much content has become promotion also these days,
yes,
right?
marketing and promotion, yeah.
Exactly. It's like even on financial, let's say blogs also, there's a lot of promotion involved.
Yes.
And
There's one thing where you automatically want to earn some money by promoting ads. One thing where someone pays you to uh, probably write something false or write something true.
Yeah.
And how do you figure it out?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is the challenge in at least nowadays that we are facing.
And speaking of newspapers, you know how the first 2 to 3 pages of the newspapers are sometimes just covered in ads these days of promotions.
Yeah, true.
And nobody even reads newspapers these days. That is another thing.
That's one thing that has gone out of fashion.
Yes, yes. I think all of those sort of promotions are coming, barging onto social media.
The news of the day is like you just get it immediately on Twitter or on SMS or WhatsApp groups.
Exactly.
Things like
and
that.
All of them also, they come with some sort of promotion, some sort of ad. I think it's inescapable these days. But influencers promoting a product that could possibly be problematic is problematic. So how you navigate through that? I mean, obviously
how do you find out that the person really used the product and liked it, or they're just doing it because they got paid for it?
Yeah, just for clout, or just.
I remember even for kids videos, right? So that's very popular. Kids watch a lot of videos on YouTube these days. So there's one specific kid who gets free gifts, free toys as gifts.
Okay.
All they need to do is make videos of them playing with the toy and they put it on YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
So but it's okay. I mean, that is at least
that's
not
acceptable.
that bad.
I mean, it's not as bad as doing a stock dump and what is that?
Pump and dump
scheme. That's a nice.
If you've seen the Wolf of Wall Street,
right.
They used to do pump and dump schemes through phones. They used to call, like, stockbrokers used to sell. They'll say this share is going up. The next 1 week is going up. Next 2 weeks is going up. Eventually, they'll make so many calls. People will buy in, and then they'll just dump the stock.
So I have a question. What is the difference between a pump and dump scheme and insider trading?
Insider trading is when you know something that is going to happen. Like this company is going to buy that company, or this company is launching a new product. You know months beforehand, and with that information, you're trying to make a profit.
But that's also wrong, no? Debatable.
I mean, there is a line where you can escape. There's a line where you can't escape.
Okay, understood. Well, that's been all digital content. I suppose we could talk a lot more about content, but I think that's a good spot to edit there today. Hey, thanks for listening to Bob and Tag Talk. Please consider following us on our Instagram and Facebook pages. We put out weekly summaries of the topics discussed on the podcast. And if you found this episode informative, please like, share, and subscribe.